Hello everybody, and I'm back with another series review of sorts. It's actually a duology, which means there's only 2 books in this series, which is actually kind of refreshing considering I've just come off of reading a lot of long series or trilogies or 2 books in a trilogy and the trilogy's not out yet. In any case, the duology in question is called the Strange Chemistry series, consisting of The Assassin's Curse and The Pirate's Wish. Both of these are by Cassandra Rose Clarke, and they are adventure, kind of fantasy-ish novels with a little bit of romance, but primarily just good old-fashioned adventure stories. The basic idea is that a young girl named Ananna, who's the daughter of some very well-known pirate captains or pirate lords, is being kind of sold, traded, given away in marriage to the son of another very famous set of pirates and pirate lords, and she's not a huge fan of this. She just wants to be the captain of her own ship. She doesn't want to have to marry some guy she doesn't know, and especially when she meets him, she really doesn't want to marry him, because as she says, first off, he's beautiful, and she doesn't trust beautiful people. She doesn't like beautiful people, because as she says, beautiful people can get away with being horrible, and people just sort of write it off because they're beautiful. So first off, this guy's beautiful, and then she realizes he's kind of almost spineless and she doesn't like him. So she tricks him and flees and just runs away thinking she'll survive on her own. Well, the bad thing is that the clan that this boy is from, the haughty clan, then send an assassin after her. And these assassins, there's all these rumors about them that, they can do blood magic. You can't kill an assassin. Nobody escapes from an assassin. So this assassin comes after her, and she meets this old woman who says, I know what's going on with you, let me help you, and gives her these 3 vials. Well, apparently she throws them at the assassin and they'll send him somewhere else. Flash forward to this bit in the desert where she and the assassin meet. She throws the bottles, nothing happens. And the magic works, but he doesn't go anywhere. She's like, oh crap, I'm gonna die. They kind of get into a brief scuffle, and then she sees a snake, and she sees it sneaking up behind the assassin, and she's so freaked out by snakes anyway that she doesn't think. She throws her dagger and kills the snake and saves the assassin's life. At which point, he tells her, I'm not gonna fight you anymore. I can't. You saved my life. And actually what we find out is that he was cursed. And the curse was that one day someone would save his life, and then he would be cursed to have to constantly protect that person, or else it causes him physical pain and drains his energy. So whenever she gets in even the slightest bit of trouble, the assassin, whose name is Naji, will say he's getting a headache or something. And if she's really in trouble or really getting hurt, it's for him he's being beaten to death. So they have to go off on this journey in order to take this curse off of both of them, because now Ananna is tied to Naji by this curse. And along the way we learn that Naji's being chased by these people from what's called the Mists, or the other world. So you have to deal with that. And then the fact that the haughty clan, who originally sent Naji, is still chasing after Ananna, and so they're in a lot of trouble. They flee around and then find out near the end of the first book that what he has on him is called an impossible curse. And really the only way to break it is to complete 3 impossible tasks. First, Naji has to take a princess's starstones and hold them against his skin. He then has to create life from an act of violence, which Naji at first thinks rape, and he's horrified at that thought. But they're no, does it say rape? It just says life out of an act of violence. And then thirdly, he has to experience true love's kiss. Really, he has to be kissed by someone who loves him despite his nature and anything else. We kind of leave off the first book after we've found this out, after they've gone on these massive adventures across the high seas and dealing with other dangers in order to find this wizard who tells them these things. We also leave off knowing that Ananna is kind of starting to fall in love with Naji. She can't explain it, but she's just starting to fall in love with him. Ananna is very strong-willed, almost to the point of being stubborn and obstinate, but she's extremely strong-willed. She knows what she wants, and she wants to be able to do it. She doesn't like the fact that Naji constantly tells her, you need to be passive, I need to protect you. It really irritates her, and she just goes, no, I don't need to be protected. I grew up on a pirate ship. I know how to fight. I know how to protect myself. And she does. It's not just her blowing smoke out her ass. She does. She can get in a fight and she can kill and she can do what she needs to do. Does that mean she enjoys killing? No. Actually, the first time she really kills a man, it makes her almost sick. She doesn't like it. But when she's out on the pirate ship, she's as useful as anybody, climbing around, doing rigging. She decides she wants to learn navigation because she'd never learned mathematics and she'd never really learned navigation, and so she decides to learn, and she gets taught, and she eventually actually grows and gets better with it. I'm going, I like this character. She is feisty. She's got, as we'd say in my house, she's got moxie. And what's really great is she's also incredibly loyal. There's a character from the Mists who's chasing Najee, but can't see him because of a protection ward he's like put over himself, who tells Ananna to call her Echo, who shows up and constantly tries to tempt Ananna with things that she thinks Ananna will want. Her own pirate ship, tons of money. I mean, all sorts of things that really do tempt Ananna, and she thinks about it, but she always goes, no, that's not right. That's not right. I can't do that, He's sworn to protect me, and I promised I wouldn't hand him over. I'm not going to break that promise. And that's kind of nice to see. The worst that she can get is, as I said, she's stubborn to the point of being obstinate. Every now and then it can seem like she's pouting like a little kid. But I think for me, I understand how frustrating it is for her to be told that she has to stay inside and not do anything for fear that Najee gets a headache. And she's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So I can't really hate her for that. On the other hand, Najee. Najee is a mystery. We never learn too much about him. We know that he has this massive, burn scar across most of his face, and he prefers to wear, a mask up to about here, and he wears something kind of covering his head as well, so you have this strip of skin of his eyes is the only thing you usually see of him. Around Ananna, he'll take the mask off, but around other people, he doesn't like to take it off. We know he has a scar. We don't really know how he got it because he never talks about it. We don't know too much about the other assassins because he says Ananna's not allowed to know. He's not allowed to tell her. We don't know that much about it. It's kind of nice to have him kept as this very mysterious character. What we learn about him, we learn through his interactions with Ananna, and we learn his personality. We learn that he's really good with magic, especially blood magic, which freaks everybody out. We know he's extremely reticent. He doesn't really like to talk to other people or even interact with other people. He prefers to keep to the shadows. He never smiles. Not with his face. He'll smile, as Ananna notes, with his eyes. They tend to kind of brighten, and she says sparkle. You know the way people smile with their eyes? Think Tyra Banks, Assassin's Next Top Model. I really just went there, didn't I? Whatever the case, Najee is a very mysterious, very quiet character, but he's kind of strangely fascinating. I think in the way that you put assassin on top of anything, and that character for me immediately becomes interesting. But he is an interesting character, he's a really good fighter, and he is sworn to protect Ananna, and he will do that at all cost to himself. He gives that thing 110% effort. I gotta go for that. So the second book is The Pirate's Wish, and it's where we pick up with Ananna and Najee having learned the 3 things that will break the curse, and they're on this island where they've learned it, and they're waiting for some friends that they met on a ship to hopefully come and get them and rescue them. Along the way, they meet a manticore who has a name I cannot pronounce, but is a female manticore, and Ananna actually makes a deal with her, because manticores like to eat human flesh, particularly male flesh. Don't ask me why. She says she won't eat Najee because he's cursed, and she goes, it would be like eating rotting meat, and I'm not a fan. And basically Ananna says, okay, at least ask before you decide to eat any men. If you ask, I'll tell you if it's okay. Because some people, yes, some people, no. And the manticore first is all in a huff, but then they make this deal. And the manticore actually does something. She eggs Ananna on into kissing Najee while he's asleep. She says, look, I know you're in love with him. I know you love him. He's your true love. And Ananna's like, well, I'm not his. Why would I do that? And the manticore's like, who cares? He's yours. You could, break part of the curse. Go do it. So she does, and it wakes Najee up, and Najee realizes what happened and doesn't say anything, and so Ananna gets really pissed off. And that causes an extreme rift between the two for most of The Pirate's Wish. It's not so bad that I'm sitting there going oh my god, get on with it and patch it up. But it's enough of a rift that there's a lot of tension between them, and they spend a lot of time fighting in The Pirate's Wish. And then we watch the deal with the Starstones. The thing about him holding them against his skin that's so difficult is that they basically seep the life out of you. So for him to hold it against his skin, it
very well will kill him. And the life out of violence, the way they figured that one out was so clever. I don't want to say what it is for fear of spoilers, but there's a lot more, I think, adventure that goes on in the first book in Assassin's Curse, and with Pirate's Wish, the adventure is really, a lot of it's crammed into the second half. I enjoyed them both. It was a really great duology, and it was really fun, and it was kind of nice to see something that felt literally just like an old school go on an adventure kind of story with some magic thrown in. I mean, this is definitely taking place in a kind of Araby of sorts. From the way the names are and the way this all goes through, I'm thinking Araby. That's kind of all I can say about these books. Now, they were just really good, fun, old school adventure stories and pirates on the high seas and assassins and magic and just fun. So until next time, cheers.